And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Okay. Oh, welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode. This is going to be more of an AMA format kind of thing, provided you guys ask questions, because I did not do a lot of preparation, because this morning I did the Ethereum Layer 1 course with my patrons. We covered, we already did a course on Bitcoin, blockchain, currency, whatever. That's the first one. Today we did Layer 1's Ethereum, smart contracts, DeFi, DEXs, dApps, and stablecoins, everything. Just complete coverage of Layer 1's. Next, we're going to do proof of stake, and then we're going to go into Hex, PulseX. So if you want to get in on the action, you could watch the replay on Patreon. It'll be posted later today. And you could join the next one live. Just go become a patron right now. And if you're not sure, or you just want to get some questions answered for free, go to furufinance.com, book your one-on-one today, and ask them in the comments section. That'll make for more content in the show. So if you have any questions, just book your one-on-one, furufinance.com, and ask them in the comment section as well. I got the notepad here. I got the whiteboard, so it will be easier if needed. I can take it out, and you can visualize whatever it is that I'm covering. So we have that luxury. We did the whiteboard yesterday. It was very effective. So if you guys have any questions and you need visualization on the whiteboard, could totally do it in this show. So thank you guys for tuning in. We got Doug Hexagons, Mr. Fontaine. Welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hello. Metastang. What's up, Furu? Let's go. Metastang popped in for the course for part of it, and he was awesome. So thank you for tuning into the show as well. JD the Hexagon. Hi, Furu. What's going on, JD the Hexagon? Hexamonium. Shop, hat, diamonds. I like that. I don't know what that means, though. But yeah, that's what's going on. We will open up with the charts. Everybody wants to see what's going on. Bitcoin is pumping like crazy. Why is that? Because people are buying and not enough people are selling. That's ultimately why. But it's trying to confirm a breakout above this resistance right here. Will the candle close above this resistance and confirm a breakout with a target to 28,150? We will see very shortly. But it's looking very good. I think this is further confirmation that the bottom's in, like I've been saying, and that maybe 11K in prey is not in play. But we'll see. Breaking out of the cup and handle, by the way, may I say. That's a nice, perfect cup and handle. Bottom reversal pattern, whatever. But Bitcoin's looking pretty strong. Have a story, not a story, but some news. There's regulation. The government is saying that the SEC is not in charge of regulation and is in fact the U.S. government. We're going to look into that maybe a little bit. But that's what's going on with Bitcoin. What do you guys think about the Bitcoin chart right now? And obviously, we got Hex. Wow, 5.6. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful breakout confirmation. Let's go to the daily. When in doubt, zoom out. More bottom confirmation for Hex as well. Looks like we've confirmed above this line of resistance, and we're headed to probably 6.9 with a technical target of 8.5 cents. But if we cannot get past this resistance, or we have a reversal in the trend, then we could be headed for lower prices. But the bullish divergence, I did talk about the bullish divergence. It seems that is really, really playing out. Maybe this bullish divergence, this bullish divergence represents the bottom of the Hex bottom, probably. So, yeah. Shout out to TA. But we'll see. We'll see if the bottom further confirms, which basically means if the price goes up. But wow, look at Floki. I don't know, what is that? A meme coin or something? Looks like one. Everything's up. Everything's doing well because Bitcoin's doing well. Hex daily stats. We have the T-share price 1442, T-share rate 25,835. Big ramp up because of the Godwell end stake, which people are saying there's some good accounting wars. RH Max is coming on the show tomorrow to discuss that. That is something that I'm maybe not so fluent in, but I will be learning from RH Max on the show tomorrow, guys. So set your timers on for tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. RH Max will be on. But we're at 957x, so we're probably over 1,000x right now. Nice payout per T-share, 7.635. Maybe now that the Godwell end stake has ended, are we going to be consistently getting over 7? That's a question for you guys in the chat. But 100 change in current holders and 58 change in current stakers. Excellent. Where's the T-share rate? Yeah. 137,630 less T-shares because of the Godwell end stake. And then the T-share rate increase. It wasn't. It's 82. So did the Godwell end stake? I thought it was supposed to be like a couple hundred. Maybe that's going to be recorded tonight. I don't know. Okay. Let me know in the comments. But that's it for the technical analysis. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let me know what you're saying before we go further. And yeah. We got Stefan. Like and share right now, mother efforts. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Stefan. I have a question. Can you explain Harts Law as an analogy or a metaphor? I can't visualize it when I hear the description. Your lucky day, man, because I have the whiteboard because of my Ethereum course, which you guys should be in the Patreon. But Mr. Monty Fontaine, since I love you, and this is an AMA, we got the whiteboard. Okay. New sheet. What is Harts Law? All hail the whiteboard. What is Harts Law? First of all, you guys should be booking a consultation for free at furufinance.com. All right. If you have any questions as well. But what is Harts Law? This is one of the great intellectual contributions of Richard Hart to the crypto space. I think he has his two biggest ones are Hart's Law and market cap being a vanity metric. Richard Hart is a big intellectual, folks. This is going to be written about in the storybooks. But basically, in decentralized exchanges, you have what's known as liquidity pools. Instead of order books, where you have basically buyers and sellers, they set limit orders, and then you have when the order's filled, the price moves up. Whatever. It's a decentralized exchange is what you have as known as liquidity pools. In liquidity pools, there's what's known as pairs. And there's liquidity providers. Unlike centralized exchanges, everybody could be a liquidity provider and earn the fees. How do you do that? You give a pair. What's a pair? A pair is what makes the price. So if you have one bit, you have a liquidity pool, one Ethereum and one Hex. It's a pair, okay? That means we're at 1-to-1. They're swappable with each other, okay? So one Ethereum is equal to one Hex. So let's say there are small pool guys. There are only 4 pairs. There are only 4 pairs. The pair is 50-50. It's one Ethereum for one Hex. That's the way it works. How does the price change? When you go on Uniswap and you buy or sell, okay? So Furu Finance comes along. Furu Finance wants Hex. He likes Hex, okay? Furu Finance has ETH. He bought on Coinbase, okay? Remember, folks, it's one ETH for one Hex. That means we're in the future. ETH is trading at 20,000. Hex is trading at 20,000, whatever. 1 for 1. You can always trade 1 for 1 because it's 50-50. The ratio here is 1-to-1. 1-to-1, right? When the pairing is 1-to-1, you can trade one for the other. Now, this is what changes the price. So I take my ETH, and it's 1 for 1. So I take my ETH, and I drop it in the pool. The liquidity provider is saying, I have 1 ETH and 1 Hex. You can take one or the other. Sam Stoll, actually, I learned that from him. He gave that good analogy. So shout out to him. You take the 1 ETH, you deposit the 1 ETH, and I take back the Hex. Now I have a Hex, right? So now this Hex is gone. We are left with 5 ETH and 3 Hex, right? Last time I got the numbers wrong. It's 5 ETH and 3 Hex. So 5 to 3 is what's the ratio? What's 5 divided by 3? I think this is the way to do the math. I hope. It's 1.66666. So it's 1.67 to 1. So now it's 5 to 3, which is 1.67 ETH to 1 Hex. That is the new ratio. That is the new ratio. That means now, if you want to be a liquidity provider, you can't give 1 ETH and 1 Hex. You have to give. No, I'm saying, yeah. No, it's 1. Yeah, it's 1.67 Hex for 1 ETH. No, 1.67 ETH, I'm sorry, for 1 Hex. If you were a liquidity provider, you now have to provide 1.67 ETH and 1 Hex in a pair. I think I'm getting this right. If I'm getting this wrong, then someone tell me. The price now, if I want to buy a Hex, is I have to give 1.67 ETH for 1 Hex. That is ratios. That is what makes the price. So now we're pricing ETH against Hex. The thing is, all these assets are paired with US dollars also, right? All these assets are also paired with US dollars. And the price in US dollars is determined in the USD Ethereum pool, in the USD Hex pool. So, right? Hope I'm getting this, man. So the Ethereum pool, let's say the Ethereum USDC pool is 1-to-1. Okay. Okay. So if I come here and I want to buy Ethereum, I have my USD. I want to do one USD, right? It's Ethereum is trading at $1, right? Ethereum is trading at $1 because it's 50-50. It's 1-to-1. That's the ratio. It's one USD for one Ethereum. Here it's one Hex for one Ethereum. Here it's one USD for one Ethereum. I drop my USD in there and I take the ETH. Now we're at 4 USD for 2 ETH, which means it's 2 for 1. Ethereum just doubled in USD value, right? Ethereum is now, or now the liquidity pair is in order to buy one ETH, you need 2 USD, right? Now the new pairing is 1 ETH for 2 USD. All right. Ethereum doubled. Okay. Now, wait a second. Ethereum is tradable for Hex, right? Ethereum is tradable for Hex. Shit, we should have made the ratios the same. If let's say you have, let's just make, we can't do 1 point. We're making it 2-to-1. It's 2-to-1. So you need 2 ETH. We're making it 2-to-1, guys. 2-to-1. You need 2 ETH for 1 Hex. 2 ETH for 1 Hex. That's the ratio. This ETH was worth $1, right? So it's $2 per Hex. But now the ETH is worth $2. So it's $4 worth of ETH will get you 1 Hex still, right? Right? Ethereum's price went up $1, which means that we're at 2-to-1 in the ETH Hex pool. This was a 2 USD value. It is now a $4 value. And is still getting you only 1 Hex, right? That's it. That's it. In the Hex Ethereum pool, what was 2 ETH, which was worth $2 for 1 Hex? The ratio is 2-to-1, right? The ratio of ETH to Hex is 2-to-1, and that's $2. It is now 2-to-1, but $4 US. $4 for 1 ETH. Let me clarify that. The ratio is 2-to-1 in the ETH to Hex pool, right? Boom, boom. ETH to Hex is 2-to-1. It is $1 ETH, right? It's 2-to-1, but ETH is $1. $1. Now, in the other pool with ETH USD, ETH is now worth $2, right? So now it is, so it was $1 ETH, now it's $2 ETH. So $1 plus $1 is $2, right? Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. All right. $1 to $1 is $2. The price of ETH doubled, did a 2x. Now 1 ETH is worth $2. Okay. So this pair is $4 worth of ETH, right? It's now, it went up $1. So this pair is $4. Why? Because it's 2 ETH worth $2 each. $2 each, right? And it's still traded for 1 hex. It's still traded for 1 hex. So you have USD, the ETH ratio is the same. Nobody traded ETH and hex, so the ratio is constant for now. But it's $2 and $2. $2 plus $2 is $4, right? Good. Good. So now $4 worth of ETH will get you only 1 hex. Will only get you. So $4 of ETH will only get 1 hex. So hex went from $2 to $4. Okay? Exactly. So you've effectively paid $4. You're going to need $4 worth of ETH to buy 1 hex. That is Harts Law. Does that make sense, everyone? All right. J everything. You got it right. I get it now. Awesome. Love it. I love it when people get it. What about the forced parity from Hex and eHex and the value in PLS? Guys, go to furufinance.com and book a one-on-one. But the forced parity from the Hex and eHex and the value in PLS. So the forced parity, I explained this yesterday, but my numbers were wrong, so it's a good thing I'm going to re-explain it. But if you're enjoying the show, please give it a like and subscribe. Okay. Forced parity from Hex and eHex and the value in PLS. So liquidity pools, right? There's thin liquidity, right, where there are very few pairings. And what does thin liquidity mean? High volatility. Thin liquidity is high volatility. Why? Why, right? We always want to know the why. So you have a liquidity pool. I like the 3 and 3. Okay, so 3. I'm running out of. So you have 3 hex, right? These are pairings. We're at 1-to-1 right now. 3 hex and 3 Ethereum. This is very, very thin liquidity. There's only 3 pairs, which means that if you want to buy hex, so we have you, okay, you got your Ethereum, you want to buy hex, okay? I like this ratio. So you go to the pool. This is the pool. Okay. You take your Ethereum, you drop it there, right? This is liquidity. It's 1-to-1. They're putting out their hand, as Sam Stolt says, and they're saying, take one and leave the other. You drop your Ethereum, right? This is what you're doing when you use Uniswap. You're taking the hex. All right. So hex is gone. Okay. Ethereum's added. Okay. Now I'm stuck with, I got the 1 hex. We went from 1-to-1, right? Because it's 3 and 3 to 2-to-1. Now the pool is 2-to-1, right? You have 2 hex. This is like chemistry. I took chemistry, pre-med stuff, right? 2 hex, right? To 4 Ethereum. Okay. And that's your new price. If you want 1 hex, you got to drop in 2 Ethereum now. Price doubled in a trade of 1 hex. That is very thin liquidity. That is only 3 pairs. What if you have 6 pairs? Okay. So you went with one trade. You've doubled the price. What if you have 6 pairs? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's 1-to-1. Okay. I come here. I want Hex, right? I want Hex. Okay. So I take my Ethereum, which I bought on Coinbase, drop it here. Okay. I got ETH. And I take a Hex. Gone. I'm now a hexakin. I'm now a hexakin, right? What's the new ratio now? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 5 to 7. Which is what? 7 divided by 5. What's 7 divided by 5, folks? Oh, I got to get this out of the way. $1.4 to 1. 2, 1. There's dots. 1.4 to 1. So 1.4 to 1. 1.4 to 1. So in this liquidity pool where there are only 3 pairs, one trade doubled the price. But now it's thicker. There are 6 pairs. So now you only had instead of a 2x, you got a 1.4x on the price of one trade. And the pattern continues. The more liquidity you have, meaning the more pairs you have in the pool, the harder it is to change the ratio. The more Hex or ETH or whatever coin you are, the more you need to trade to change the ratio. We could do one more example, but no, whatever. You get the point. Okay, fine. So this was 6. Now you want to do 6. Let's say it's 12. So if it's 12, if you have 12 Hex paired with 12 Ethereum, and you take 1 Hex and you drop an Ethereum, so now you're at 13 plus 1. Now you're at 13 Hex, and you are at minus 1. 13 to 11. 13 divided by 11. 13 divided by 11 is 1.18. So now your ratio is 1.18. So you're only going to need 1.18 Hex. So instead of going up 40%, it only went up 18%. The pattern continues. The more liquidity you add, the more pairings there are, the harder it is to change the ratio, which means you need more Hex. You need more and more Hex to change the ratio. Okay? Pulsechain launches, guys. Pulsechain launches. Oh my God, we're going to the moon. Pulsechain launches. Okay? Not Richard Hart. The OA, I'm sorry. The OA comes. The OA's like, hey, the OA organization, entity, he, she, it, they, them, their, urge, whatever the pronouns are, the OA comes and says, hey, I like EHEX. I know a lot of people, they bought EHEX, right? A lot of people, they bought EHEX. They didn't expect the gas fees to, get this high. They didn't expect that it would, become obsolete if for the gas fees, which I don't think it will actually, but whatever. People don't like, paying a lot in gas. So that's going to maybe devalue Hex, right? But I don't want that. I like Hex. I like the stock. I like Hex. So the OA comes. So Mr. OA comes. Mr. OA has more Hex in his wallets, or her, or they, or, the organization, group of people, whatever entity has more Hex, and we have no expectations of this, but the OA has more Hex in the wallet than all of the Hex outside the OA wallet, than all of the Hex outstanding on the market, right? So, you see how the more liquidity pairs you provide, right? The more pairs you provide, the harder it is to change the ratio. So if the OA comes on Pulsechain launch, right? When Hex is whatever, $30. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what it's going to be, but hopefully it'll be there. Whatever. The OA comes and starts providing liquidity. But the OA, you think it's hard, right? When it goes from 3 pairs to 6, it takes a lot more to change the ratios. It goes to 6 to 12, it takes more to change the ratios. How about you go there from there to 10 billion EHEX, well, that's million, 10 billion EHEX on one side, and then on the other side of the pairing is 10 billion PHEX. How much hex is it going to take? That means every time that you trade one EHEX for PHEX, the ratio changes 0.09456, whatever. A lot of zeros. There isn't enough hex outstanding where somebody could take, even if somebody would take like make it like 30 billion, I don't know, whatever the number is required. But there gets to a point where there is enough hex. So this is a 1-to-1 ratio that even if you take like all the hex, in everyone's wallet, all the EHEX, and you trade it for PHEX, you're going to make the ratio 1.000000001 to 1, whatever, to 1. Nobody has enough buying power to change it from 1 to 1. And if it's at 1 to 1, then it is at parity, right? And why? Now, Sami, this is actually, I prepared this in the show. Sami says, Sami, and this is not a dig at Sami, because Sami is awesome and he provides a lot of alpha. But he said if the OA bonded EHEX and PHEX, their ratios would glue together one EHEX for one PHEX. However, this is nothing to do with the USD price. The EHEX USDC and PHEX USDC pairs would not be bonded and free to pump. So this is not true. And why isn't not true? Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Are there any questions? No questions. Okay. I hope that means I'm doing really well, but it could mean I'm sucking. Okay. So Sami's saying that basically it's 1-to-1, meaning tradable one EHEX for one PHEX. But against the US dollar, it's different, right? The US dollar pairs could change. So let's say you have 1-to-1 and they start off, let's say hex is $1. It's not a liquidity pair, but it's $1 EHEX, $1 EHEX, and $1 PHEX, right? They're each $1, and they're tradable 1 for 1. So what happens when the price of EHEX in the liquidity pools, right? People sell EHEX for US dollars, and the price goes down of EHEX. So EHEX is now going down to 90 cents. We have a 90 cent. You have a 90 cent EHEX. 90 cent EHEX for and you have still $1 PHEX. $1 PHEX. Okay. But they're tradable 1 for 1. Okay. They're tradable 1 for 1. This is what is called an arbitrage opportunity. This is why Sam Bankman-Fried allegedly was such a legend, right? Abid Hex says I'm wrong. I'm wrong? I might have to send you an invite, man. Let me just finish this and then tell me why I'm wrong. But EHEX is at $90, but the liquidity pool OA made 10 billion to 10 billion, so you can't change it. It's always 1-to-1. Oh, he's saying I'm right. Okay, thank you. Phew, I got scared there. Okay, so you have people that do what is known as arbitrage. If it's always exchangeable 1-to-1, they're going to buy EHEX for 90 cents for US dollars. They're going to buy 90 cent hex on Ethereum, right? They are going to take that 90 cent EHEX, they're going to go to the liquidity pool, and they're going to swap it for PHEX because it's 1-to-1, right? Right. So for 90 cent EHEX, right? This is Mr. Banker, rich arbitrage man. He's got a top hat. Okay. Mr. Banker has a lot of money. Okay. He buys 90 cent EHEX for he buys EHEX for 90 USDC. Then he goes to the liquidity pool. He trades it for PHEX. He gets $1. Trades it, right? He trades it for $1 PHEX. PHEX. He just made 10 cents because what he could do is now he could go to the PHEX liquidity pool and sell it for $1. So he made 10 cents on the dollar, right? Then he sells that $1 PHEX for 1 USDC. Sells it for 1 USDC. So he, with 90 cents, made $1. He will, and what happens? He'll keep doing that. And when he keeps doing that, the price goes up. So he's going to push the price of EHEX up, and he's going to sell the price of PHEX down until they meet, until there's no gap, and then it's not worthwhile to do anymore. That is what is known as arbitrage. Arbitrage. Okay, guys? That is what's known as arbitrage. Why is Bitcoin the same price on every exchange, more or less, right? So you have Binance, right? You have Coinbase, right? They both have completely different order books, different customers, whatever, but the price of Bitcoin is more or less the same. I mean, whatever. It's more or less the same. Why? Because let's say Bitcoin is trading at $1,000 on Binance, okay? If Bitcoin on Binance is trading at $1,000, okay? And on Coinbase, Bitcoin is trading at $990, okay? Then Sam Bankman-Fried, before he went to jail, okay? You have Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried. What does he do? He has a lot of money. Sam Bankman-Fried has a lot of money, right? Right? He goes, he buys the Bitcoin on Coinbase, buys it for $990, and he sells it, buys it on Coinbase, and then he sells it. He sells it on Binance for $1,000. So he bought it. So he buys it for $990, takes it, goes to Binance, and sells it for $1,000. He just made $10. And it's just $10. Yeah, it's $10. But if you do it, that's if you do it with one Bitcoin. But think about if you do it with 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Then you're making good money. So that is also arbitrage. So could he just keep doing this? Arbitrage. Could he keep on doing this? No. Why? Why can't he just, keep on buying it for $990 and selling it for $1,000 and just retire? Because as he buys it up, the price goes up, right? And as he sells it here, the price goes down. So the Bitcoin, the Coinbase from 1,000 drops to $995 eventually after enough. And then this goes up this goes up 5 to $995. And now you have equal Bitcoin prices across exchanges. That is why that is what arbitrage is. And given that Hex on Ethereum, if OA does what Johnny Chaos says he's going to do, if it's always tradable 1-to-1, right, then people will arbitrage the US dollar differential. And why I believe Sami is wrong, but I could be wrong too. But if you enjoyed this, make sure you go to furufinance.com and book a one-on-one. And we could do these fun stuff. Whiteboard's clutch, no? Oh. Are there any other questions? Abit says, I believe in no parody ever. I guess you're saying that you believe that the OA's not going to do that. I'm correct. Thank you, man. How does that move the Hex PLS Hex liquidity? So I'm saying with Pulse and PulseX, you could also provide thick liquidity to the point where you can't change the ratios. Just instead of 1-to-1, it'll be 3-to-1 or 10-to-1 or 180-to-1. And you could do the same thing. I can't even think it through. It's just complicated, but that's really the answer. Anyone. But if the OA could provide it in a way that the OA could provide it in a way that you can't change the ratios. Okay. Pulling out the whiteboard. Sorry. Yeah. What does ETH become on Pulsechain? ETH becomes nothing. I mean, you get one PLS per ETH, but obviously the ETH value is going to be worth a lot more than PLS. So you're basically getting pretty much nothing. Because it's a system state copy, right? So Pulsechain is Ethereum is being copied over onto Pulsechain, right? So that means that all the ERC20s are being copied over to Pulsechain, but Ethereum is not an ERC20. It is the native token. So it's not being copied over. I mean, it's being copied over to Pulse, which is the native token. So you're not getting much, but you're getting something. Can you explain, teacher? I cannot. I don't. RH Max is coming on tomorrow. He's going to discuss that. He actually just notified me of that. So the only ETH that will be on Pulsechain is wrapped ETH. Yes, correct. Which is basically you have Ethereum. You can put it on Pulsechain. It's called a bridge, right? So Dev Kyle gave this example. Think of it like a casino. You take your US dollars, you go to the front desk, right? The counter by the casino, you deposit it, and you get on the other side, you get chips. You take those chips into the casino. So in the casino, those chips are represent its value in dollars and could be used to buy drinks and gamble. Then when you're done, you take your chips and you bring it back to the front desk and exchange it for dollars. So yeah, so think of Ethereum as outside the casino, the front desk, the bridge as the front desk, right? And the casino is Pulsechain. So thank you so much for the $5 donation. Take my money, brother. All the best. Thank you. I appreciate your $5 generous donation. Really helps. Hex Addict. Furu. And then we have also the ratio Pulse and PulseX to make it more complicated. Good luck trying to game this one. Yeah. So Pulse and PulseX, if there's also a lot of liquidity provided in the ratio, then yeah, the ratios will stick against the US dollar because they'll arbitrage that ratio. So any uneducated people that are like, why does the OA control so much? I mean, this definitely is a reason potentially why. Whoa, too much light. And then we have also the ratio PulseX. Yeah, oh, sorry, I read that. All right, let's get into Twitter, guys. Twitter, we had Sami. Maybe someone could affirm to this, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But we have KDP.PLS says Hex Crypto has 3.6 million views on TikTok. Can you feel the virality imminent? Guys, 3.6 million views. And that's just the hashtag Hex Crypto. Forget about including, Pulsechain hashtag, Richard Hart hashtag, just the Hex hashtag, any of those things. So we're probably looking upwards of like 10 million views on TikTok in a bear. And I'm like, I wonder why. And guys, go like that tweet, okay? I deserve some credit. You got to give credit where credit is due. And it's not really just me. It's me and the entire Telegram, which you guys should be in. But you got to give credit where credit is due. And this was not the case before the Hex, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts movement, where we've stormed TikTok. We've taken it by storm and really upped the engagement and made it viral. You are not getting this kind of viewership on Twitter or YouTube or anything like that. So go make sure you like this tweet and this tweet. And then I quote tweeted, where else is Hex getting these numbers, folks? TikTok and only TikTok is where virality is cultivated in 2023. If you want to make Hex and Richard Hart viral, get on TikTok. How we market now affects the Hex price performance later. So that was good. And yeah, people have to pick up. This is not 2009 anymore. Virality is not achieved on YouTube anymore. YouTube is too concentrated. There's too much liquidity in YouTube to change the ratios, so to speak. Your videos are not significant, especially given that there are so many people in front of you on the algorithm, and also there's no serving. You don't get served. You look for the content on YouTube. On TikTok, it gets brought to you and brought to your attention, keeps on getting fed if people keep watching it. And that's why virality is happens on TikTok. Back in the day with YouTube, that was the case, right? Harlem Shake went viral on YouTube. We're not in those days anymore. People are not realizing that. And that's why people have been saying Hex is pretty viral. It shouldn't be pretty viral. It could go viral, but it's not going to be achieved by television. It's not going to be achieved by advertising. It's not going to be achieved by Twitter or YouTube. It will be achieved by two things: price appreciation and TikTok. That's just the way it is. But the TikTok affects the price appreciation. So the more people are making TikTok videos, the more people get into Hex, and the more the price goes up. So you have like a circular positive feedback loop, and that creates more TikToks, right? So more TikToks, more buyers, which makes more TikToks and more buyers, and then we go to the moon. But yeah, I deserve credit for that, and not trying to insult Katie. I mean, she's provided a lot of good content for the show. But come on, like, why did that happen? Yeah, that was it for that. And thanks for the explanation. Re-upload. Harts Law. Thank you, Mr. Fontaine, for the generous donation. I think that's €5, £5. Bitcoin has almost tapped 25,000 and staking. What's going on? Let's check the Bitcoin chart. Whoops. Not really moving now. But next up, we got, which one was it? It was a KDP tweet. Or was it? Okay, maybe it wasn't. Ivan on Tech. Hex got more new buyers than SHIB during the past week. Havid Hex Pulsechain hype. He loves Havid Hex. They're both in Sweden. Yeah, that's great. And I'm sure the TikToks had something to do with it. How about that? TikToks. But yeah, more new buyers than SHIB, but definitely more the Pulsechain hype. But if you think the TikToks, if you think millions of people are watching this content and there's like a chunk of them going over and buying Hex, like maybe a couple thousand, which is a lot, then I think you're mistaken. So yeah, cool. Ivan on Tech is now a Hex again. And Abit Hex is in the chat, and I prepared a tweet, so shout out to that. So far the Godwell didn't do anything. I even found that he has bleeding stakes. There you go. So that's why the rate didn't ramp up 600, I think. But yeah, good stuff. Abit Hex. Yeah. And then what are you guys saying in the chat? Are there any questions, comments, super chats? The next thing is the article about staking. But just a reminder that go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today at furufinance.com. I can totally drop the link here. But schedule's been pretty free lately, so get me busy. Just schedule your free call. Ask any questions you want. And schedule it on your time. You can do it. You just go into the calendar and choose a date and time that works best for you. So whatever you have on your mind you want to discuss, Pulsechain launch, whatever it is, click the link in the chat. Get that done. But yeah, 81 watching, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're enjoying. But yeah, moving on, we got, and also consider becoming a patron. We got the crypto Yahoo News. The SEC will set cryptocurrency regulations. Says blockchain association, the U.S. Congress, U.S. Congress, not the SEC, will set cryptocurrency regulations, says blockchain association. Why would a blockchain association know that though? Like, who are they? It's not like the government said that, but the blockchain association chief policy officer Jake Chervinsky said the U.S. Congress will ultimately set the laws in the country to govern the cryptocurrency industry and not the Securities and Exchange Commission, which this month launched a flurry of enforcement actions against digital asset companies. The SEC and other regulatory agencies are bound by this legal reality, he said. Who is he? Neither the SEC nor the Commodity Futures Trading Commission has the authority to comprehensively regulate crypto, Chervinsky said in a thread on Tuesday. Chervinsky called 2022 the worst year in crypto history due to the collapse of Bahamas-based crypto exchange FTX.com, which he said did massive damage to the industry's reputation and caused skeptics to rush in to regulate, he added. Chervinsky said the ideological gap between House Republicans and Democrats has delayed debate on the digital asset regulation, which has led to agencies stretching their authority beyond the recognition to get things done without Congress, whether the law allows it or not. The policy officer called the SEC crypto's chief antagonist and criticized the agency's recent actions, calling it regulation by enforcement. On Thursday, crypto exchange Kraken shuttered its crypto staking program and paid a US $30 million fine against the SEC said the program has violated securities laws shortly after Paxos Trust Company stopped minting Binance USD stablecoin, which has a US $16 billion collateralization under orders of the New York Department of Financial Services. In response, Stravinsky suggests petitioning Congress for further action, educating it on the industry. He also called for the courts to litigate against regulators to hold them to more strict definition of existing laws and set legal precedents. Policy is made in all three branches of government. We ignored the judiciary for too long, he said. So this guy works for the Blockchain Association. Is the Blockchain Association associated with one of these centralized exchanges that can't stake anymore? Whoops, Blockchain Association. Seems like a lobbying thing for like an arm of exchanges. Is there a team? Who are these people? Board of directors. There you go. Digital Currency Group. There you go. Kraken. So you have Kraken, right? Kraken and Digital Currency Group, which is behind Gemini, whatever. All these centralized exchanges that that are offering staking, centralized staking for yield, right? And giving up your keys. And even if they are honest, unlike Celsius, and they give up and people give up their keys, like and they only stake whatever, and they only use their money to stake and take a little bit of a cut, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If they go out of business, you're not getting your money back so easily. So the SEC finally did something right, and they cracked down on it. They said that's not okay. It's not okay. Now, even Gary Gensler said, not your keys, not your coins. And then obviously you have this group called the Blockchain Association, which represents all these centralized exchanges, obviously saying that it's not in the jurisdiction to do it. Legally, whether or not it is, I don't know. I'm not a legal expert, but it definitely is a little sus why they're saying it, and it's definitely a good thing that the SEC is cracking down on middlemen providing yield, because it doesn't end well. Because most centralized exchanges don't make it. Even if they're being honest, like they could just go bankrupt. Most companies go bankrupt sooner or later. I mean, how many actually stick around for a long time? And when that happens, the people that deposited their money are going to get messed over, even if it was for staking. So the SEC had the right to step in, but obviously the easy money being made by Kraken and Coinbase, it's gone. So it's not really the Blockchain Association that's saying not that it's against the SEC's jurisdiction. It's really Kraken and Coinbase saying that because they want to make easy money, making people give up their coins to earn yield. But thankfully, there is a solution, where you can earn yield without giving up your coins. It's called Hex, right? Hex allows you to earn way more yield with way less counterparty risk. In fact, there is zero counterparty risk. That's why I think I'm very bullish. I think there's a big market for yield, and Hex is really the only one doing it right. So that's why I think Hex is going to do very well in the next couple of years. But that's really it for the news. Does anyone have any questions or whatever? Make sure you go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today. And then join the Patreon for Discord, for DMing me, for courses, right? We just finished one this morning, and we did a free one on Harts Law. So go get in the link below. Go join the Patreon. I think a lot of the patrons are getting a lot out of this, which is good. So go to furufinance.com, book your free one-on-one, and go become a patron. And not only will you be getting a lot, but you're also going to be supporting me, which is sick, and allowing me to do this. So shout out to that. I bet Davis. Thank you, Davis. Davis is a patron, and I appreciate you and your generous super chats. And Todd, by the way, Todd was actually in the Ethereum course for Patreons, and you guys could watch the replay or whatever you want. You know, it's going to be posted on Patreon, and then you could attend the next course live. I bet Gary's still not your keys, not your coins from RH falling into Hex. Probably. He coined it, really, right? Like, not your keys, not your coins wasn't even a thing until Hex. Like, it was just implied. Like, yeah, you want to earn yield, you give it up. You want to buy crypto, you leave it on an exchange. I mean, there was some of it, you know, there was some advocacy, but it's become more prominent than ever thanks to Richard Hart. It's good. Listen, if Gary's learning from Richard Hart, I think that's a really good thing. You know, we welcome that. But yeah. That's it, you guys. We got 84 watching. No other questions. We're going to call it a 1 hour stream. I was down to go longer. If you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. And follow me on Twitter and Facebook. But we got 85 watching. Check out the Hex price. Wow. Not bad, huh? This was supposed to be the V3 target. And V3 hasn't even launched yet. So where are we going to be when testnet V3 launches? Probably going to be doing very, very well. And we got Bitcoin. It's creeping back to 25,000. It's creeping back to 25,000. So we are going to we're going to see where that we're going to be watching it really, really closely. But yeah. Mr. Black says, in my opinion, I think Pulsechain would be better if no airdrop happened. How would that be better? You have to explain, because the airdrop is what brings new people to the space, right? The free stuff, the world's largest free airdrop. So how would it be better if there was no airdrop? Then why would anyone want to go on Pulsechain and then buy Pulse and Hex and PulseX? It's just another Ethereum fork. It's like BNB or Avalanche. So Team Alliance says, so we're heading into the second cycle as far as bull runs go for Hex. We are heading, yes, I think so. I think the bottom's in. Does that mean that we're going straight to all-time highs? No. But that means that we're starting to turn around. Like, we could still... Shoot. Sorry. We can still have, you know, let's say Bitcoin could go up to 40,000 and then drop back down to 20 and the bottom's still in, right? So Hex could go to 30 cents and drop back down to 12 or 8 and the bottom's still in. And we saw similar things with Bitcoin, right? We saw Bitcoin was what during the it went down to like 3,300 and then it went back up to 15,000 when its all-time high was, or 14,000 when its all-time high was 20,000, and then it went back to 3,800 and the bottom was still in. So does that mean we're going straight to all-time high? I mean, this is all speculative, by the way, not financial advice. Do your own research. Does that mean we're going straight to all-time highs? No, I don't think so. But I think the bottom could be in, right? Or can the bear market still not be finished and we head back down again? What are your thoughts? Oh, I think that answers it. But thanks for tuning in, Team Alliance, and I hope you like and subscribe. I think we're at, I say, the beginning of the end of the bear market. The beginning of the end. It's not the end. Like, it's not clear skies, but I mean, it looks like FTX was the Mt. Gox. That was like, I don't think we're going to get worse than that, but who knows? I mean, with crypto, anything goes, right? Crypto's like anything goes. So like maybe there's another crazy thing like digital currency group or something, but I don't think so. I think the bottom's in, and cycle theory agrees with me. So, but Richard Hart does not agree. Richard Hart is doubled down on 11K. So I have some good company, and I'm in good company, and also, I mean, Richard Hart is good company, but he disagrees. He's not in company with me, so I don't know. He's got a good track record, I'll say that. Way better than mine. We got 71 watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Are there any other questions? Metastang says, join the Patreon. Great information every Sunday at noon. There's Zoom meeting every Sunday also. I forgot to mention that. All the patrons, not all of them, but whoever's available, Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern, we do a group meeting. And we do courses. And we do Discord. So, yeah, you might want to get in that. What I've done is loaded up at below 5 cents, so I'm not left behind in case the bottom is in, by the way. And subscribe for a couple of weeks, and I enjoy the content. Well, thanks, man. I guess this is the first time catching me live. Thank you. Been loading up below 5. That's good. That's definitely good. I think below 10 is also good. I just DCA. I've been loading up above 5 and below 5. I've been loading up at 22. I'm on a strict DCA schedule, but I sometimes break it if there's a big dip, but I shouldn't because you could run out of buying power too early. Well, actually, now that we're down so much, maybe, I don't know. Book a one-on-one, furufinance.com. Are there any other questions? Got so many people watching, but nothing's really going on in the chat. Frederico Gomez, welcome to the show. Please like and subscribe. You think Hex is having another dip? Of course. Right? Dips are part of the game. Dips are part of the game. there's always going to be dips. Are you asking if the bottom's in? I think so, but I keep on telling everybody, if there was a way to accurately predict short-term volatility, right? If I can tell you what Hex is going to be at a given date, I charge you a lot of money, and you'd pay. That's what I tell everyone. I tell everyone, if let's say you could pay me, $1 million, and I can accurately predict prices for a given date, it would be worth it. Then you could just borrow $1 million and use that to make 10 million, and then pay me, and then pay back your loan. So I know a lot of people make it like they could predict it and they charge a lot of money. It's not really the most honest thing necessarily, because nobody could predict it, man. Nobody can. Anyone that can tell you what, I mean, there is something you could predict. Like you can predict not with 100% accuracy, but you can predict, let's say a stock is going to go up over time. Like it's going to be worth a lot more in a couple of years from now than it is now. Right. Or a cryptocurrency, like you can do that. That's the importance of research, right? So if you look at a company, right, if you were in the early thousands in the 90s and you saw Google and you're like, wow, they're creating a search engine, and it's a really good algorithm and whatever, like this is something that's going to enable, so much information accessible to so many, like you really understood it and you did your research, then you could have made an educated guess that it would go up over time. And it's never 100% accurate because things change in the future. So like, let's say another company comes out that does the same thing better, or like it just whatever. But there are ways to figure out which cryptos and which stocks generally go up. But it's not with 100% accuracy. But this idea that you're going to have a price point, I do it sometimes for fun, and I try and get it out of people that come on the show, just tongue in cheek, and because it's good entertainment. But there should be an understanding that nobody knows. I mean, it's so dishonest, this industry, that people say that they could predict prices. No one can. If I could, I would. Hex is Danish and not Swedish as Ivan. Oh, I'm sorry. Because they're both Nordic though, right? But actually, Ivan's Ukrainian. He moved to Sweden. Enjoy the bull trap, folks. Speaking about predicting future volatility. Okay, we'll see. Do you see the free coins on PLS attracting a significant amount of people to and help with adoption virality? Yes, of course. How could it not? The thing is, here's the thing. So people say it's automatically going to. It's not automatically going to. You need the free coins, and you also need marketing, right? If people get free coins, but they don't know they have free coins, and they don't know which network to switch it to, then it's as if they never got it, and they'll never use Pulsechain. But if you use TikTok, where you get the best outbound marketing for the lowest price, which is free, then a lot of people, it will catch. Yeah, definitely be huge. Combined with the green candles. Okay. With the absurd gas fees back, there's no better time to unleash Pulsechain. Yeah, well, if you think this is bad, wait a little longer. Wait, but you predicted the is that why you're saying there's going to be a bull trap because the gas fees are high? Interesting food for thought. Okay, people say that the gas fees on Ethereum is why EHEX is not doing well. But wait a second, wasn't Hex doing the best, which is obviously EHEX? Wasn't Hex doing the best when its gas fees were the highest? right? That was when Hex went all the way to 50 cents. The gas fees on Ethereum were insane, which means that it's in fact not the gas fees that are driving the price down. It is just market cycles, In fact, the best time to buy Hex was the time of the highest price performance for Hex was when the gas fees were at its highest. It's like what Richard Hart says. I'm pretty much, copying Richard Hart's template for inflation when he says like the best time to buy Bitcoin was when its inflation was the highest, right? Everyone thinks inflation is bad, but really that was the opportunity. The best time for Hex's price was when its gas fees were the highest. So it's not the gas fees driving it down. I'd accept the argument that in the long run, if gas fees aren't fixed on Ethereum, that could really hurt the price. But definitely isn't what's hurting it now, because the gas fees were very cheap, and that's when Hex was really down 97% when the gas fees were cheap. Hex's price did the worst when gas fees were the best. So there's inverse correlation. Furu gang. Gotta run, fam. Great show today, Furu. Thank you, Chad. Always a pleasure having you on. We can predict that history repeats itself. So if folks haven't learned from Bitcoin and Ethereum, they won't ever get it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But that's not saying that you could predict price points. I mean, you could definitely infer from cycle. I mean, it's mathematically Bitcoin should have another run, right? Because you have the miners' rewards, meaning the inflation cut in half, while the amount of buyers on exchanges is the same. That doesn't get cut in half. So what makes the price is the inflation, right? The future supply, which gets cut in half. That's part of one of the things that goes into it, right? And then that gets cut in half, and you have the same amount of buyers. You have the same amount of demand. When the liquidity hitting the market gets cut in half, that's gonna create a very disruptive run up. That should. So that's a good metric to use, is like really the Bitcoin halving and therefore the 4-year cycle. But the idea that anyone could tell you what the price is going to be at the top, I mean, you could guess, or even like the top, it's a little bit, you'd be a little more accurate because like you could factor in diminishing returns and futures, the differences in run-ups. I mean, it seems like it pumps less and less. There's definitely something, but you can't get the exact price. And you certainly can't get the exact price on a given date. Like, and then in January, it's going to be this. And then it's like, come on. Yeah, 72 watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe. And go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today. And become a Patreon. Link in the description. Join the Patreon. Hedron, Hex is green, but ICOSA and Hedron are red. Interesting thing that they typically move together. Yeah. If someone's selling their free Hedron and ICOSA. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like my free Hedron, but I definitely don't think it's outperforming Hex. I think that's a little bit silly that people think that, simply because it's airdropped to everyone for free and people could sell it at any time, unlike their T-shares, which, I mean, there's definitely a penalty, deterring that. So you have that it's free, and then even if it could still do better being free, the OA has has enough Hedron to, not let the price go up. So he's probably not going to want Hedron to do better than Hex, but we have no expectations. And yeah, it's just, listen, if you get if you're minting a lot of free Hedron, then God bless you. But if you think that you're not going to buy Hex and you're going to buy Hedron because that's the opportunity, I think you're foolish. I don't even know what you're saying that based on. I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying like people in general. I guess they just see, I said they see a lot of zeros, so they think, oh, it's like Hex, but most projects don't do 10,000 X's. You have to be exceptional for that. And there's also like onboarding is, there's a huge bottleneck, because in order to really, most onboards want to, not most, but onboards generally, there's a wanting to understand what they're buying, because then they could decide whether or not it's good. And you first have to understand Hex and T shares. So it's got an uphill battle, Hedron and Icosa, but hey, if they do well, then I'll be minting, you know, a lot of value, which is awesome. So, but that's really the take on Icosa and Hedron. I know it's exciting because it's new, but and that's probably why a lot of people like covering it, because it's new and it's exciting. But there's this, I think there's a big mistake that people make to think it's going to be a better, going to be a better hold than Hex. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous, and I think a lot of people that are shilling it are minting a lot, and I guess they want to meet. I'm not saying anyone in particular, but if I had so many T shares that I was minting tons of Hedron every day, I could see myself, although I like to think I wouldn't do it because I'm a good person, but I could understand the need and the tendency to want to pump your Hedron bags so you could exit at a higher price and then keep minting and then keep exiting. But yeah, that could be why Icosa and Hedron are red, but I don't know. Listen, I don't mind Hedron, you know, I get it for free. So oi, evening all. And Willie B Long 33. It is the yield that is attractive part of Icosa. Hedron is fueled to buy discounted HSIs. The yield, but if the yield, you're earning yield in kind, or you're earning yield in either Hedron or Icosa, and that if that keeps on depreciating, then it's not as good as earning something yield in something that keeps appreciating. You understand? If Hex offers 38% yield, but Hex is doing thousands of X's, and Hedron is offering 50, or Icosa is offering 50, 75, 100, but it's only doing, you know, it's only doing 10, 20, 30 X's, then the yield is inferior. So you can't disaggregate price performance from yield. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Nothing against Hedron. If Hedron does well, I'm going to stake it, and I'm going to earn Icosa and Hedron. Did my mic disconnect? Did I get muted? My mic turned red. I'm going to try and put it back in. Testing. Okay, perfect. You guys can hear me? Okay. Yeah, so if the yield is big, but the price appreciation is inferior, it's not a better yield. Hedron and Icosa are used to gain more Hex yield these days. Makes sense. Yeah. I guess if you use it to buy. Good point. So far, it has been appreciating, but who knows so far? Yeah. And there's been instances where the OA stepped in and didn't let it go up, right? So no disrespect to the Hedron community, but I think it's a mistake to think that your Hedron is going to get you better gains than your Hex. And that's what I think. I don't know. Maybe you'd have to ask the Hedron guy. You could ask Alex. He's a fine man. He's a very smart man. You could ask him what he thinks. I mean, maybe he thinks otherwise. I'm not trying to hate. But yeah, I definitely don't think that the tokenized stakes in the long run are hurting the Hex price, because even though people get them at a discount now, you know, in the long run, it balances out. If people buy out the discount and it goes to the premium, people will sell it. It'll just be kind of arbitraged. And also, yeah, people, they're like, it's at a discount now, so people say it's hurting the hex price, but also maybe the hex price wouldn't be here if so much wasn't taken off the market to maybe the hex price would be a lot lower if so much wasn't taken off the market to mint these HSIs. So I think in the long run, it's hard for me to imagine it not balancing out. So I think as far as like the Hedron token, so I don't think Hedron overall, maybe at a given period of time, it hurts the hex price, but in the macros, it doesn't. Same thing with Maxi. And I like Mr. Gold Key because he's on TikTok and he's making awesome memes. But Maxi also, like, yeah, people could say people aren't buying Maxi because people aren't buying Hex because Maxi's at a discount. But at the same time, how much Hex was taken off the market, you know, to make these Maxis, and if it goes to a premium, people sell the Maxis, they'll buy Hex. Arbitrage, remember? Arbitrage. Thanks, man. The day will come when we see Hex prices in Hex that are absurd to us now. At the same time, these prices will never be seen again at some point. Just saying. I tend to agree with that. I tend to agree with that. Yes, I agree. Ever look at your estimated stake end fees? One of mine is estimated at 0.8 ETH 15 years from now. ETH could be at 200K. That's just 160K to end stake. No one talks about how that's a massive issue. Ethereum talks about it. I think they want to fix the gas fees, right? So hopefully there'll be a solution where it won't cost that much. But at the same time, what would the price of Hex on Ethereum, if it's bonded to ETH, what would that be? So maybe you're paying 200K to unstake, you know, 200 million. I'm not making a price prediction, but I'm saying if you're unstaking 200 million, would you be complaining? You could even just borrow money to unstake and then cash out some Hex and pay it all back and then some. So definitely the gas issues are a problem. But I don't know. I think Ethereum wants to fix the gas, so hopefully it'll be taken care of by then. But also, Crispy Man talks about this, and I actually started. You might want to consider DCAing into ETH, like a couple bucks a day, not financial advice, just because later on it's going to be a lot more expensive. So you'll have the money you need to make transactions and end your stakes. It's not a bad idea, and I actually did that. So, and Pete Swag. Pulsechain, folks. What's going on, Pete Swag? But yeah, guys, 63 watching. Please like and subscribe. Please go to furufinance.com. You could get a free one-on-one, and you can go to the Patreon. Courses, discounts, Discord, Zoom meetings, some good stuff. Might want to check that out. But are there any more questions? Getting back to that 25,000 on Bitcoin. And 5.547 on Hex. Not bad. Not bad. Hopefully it could keep going. Good content as always. Thank you, Klaus S. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate all you guys watching. And then Hex Solstice said pay for an end stake fees with liquid Hex is also an option. That's true. That is true. It is an option. But you're going to have to trade that liquid Hex for Ethereum And that might be a costly trade. You might have to pay like last bull market, I was sometimes getting to like $300 in gas fees. So for Uniswap. So could be like upwards of 1,000. So still, I think it's good to DCA into ETH for sure. 5.5 cents, baby. Yes. Shout out to Ben D, my guy. Ben Dubard, yes. My guy too. He's my guy, Pete. Excuse me. I'm kidding. He's our guy. Yeah, Ben Dubard. Go like and subscribe to his channel. And just a reminder, you have any questions or would like to learn more about crypto, Hex Pulsechain, Hex PulseX, game planning the launch, anything like that, go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today. DCA costs gas fees each time. No, not true. You DCA on Coinbase, there's no gas fees, or Kraken or whatever, and then like once a month you move that over to your wallet, so you could mitigate the gas fees. And also, it's a lot cheaper now. If you think this is bad, it's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse, but it's also going to get a lot better. So the price is going to go up, but the gas fees are going to get worse. Yeah, we've been going for an hour 32. So if you guys don't have any other questions, then we could end it. Just a reminder to go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today on your schedule at a time that you like with me to learn more about cryptocurrency. Also, if you're joining the Patreon, but link is in the chat. I'll wait another second. If you guys have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Please like and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and TikTok. All right. I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time with RH Max. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.